Hi everyone, this is Noah Sandler from Mtgo Academy, and today we're going to be doing a triple Innistrad draft. It is my favorite draft format of all time. There's just so many different archetypes, all kinds of different synergy things you can do. Pretty well balanced overall. The games play out really interestingly, and also has the spider spawning archetype, which is just one of the best draft archetypes they've ever made. Really fun to draft and play, and very unique. So, yeah, they have it up for Halloween. So, wanted to share my love of this format with you. So this pack, there's a Sever the Bloodline, one of the best cards in the set. Kills a creature, maybe multiple creatures, and then you can flash it back, do it again. Passing a Silent Departure, Fiend Hunter, a couple red cards, Voiceless Spirit, nothing green or black. Now, back when this format first came out, it was actually relatively easy to draft the spider spawning decks. People didn't really fight you for them much, and there's a lot of redundancy. But with flashback drafts right now, it seems like everybody's trying to draft it. It's just such a popular and fun archetype that now people are fighting over it quite a bit. So might not be the best idea to move on it without having a good reason to do so. But it's very powerful. Even if the deck doesn't come together fully, it can still be really good. Here, Geistcatcher's Rig is surprisingly very good in this format. Just a lot of the best cards in the format are flyers with 4 or less toughness. It's colorless, so you can always play it, and 4 or 5 body is pretty nice. So take that, not much else here. We have Avacyn Priest, Prey Upon, Morcut Banshee, Spectral Rider. I'll probably just take the Banshee to stay on color with the Sever. The Priest is the best card in the pack, so yeah, I think it's between those two. If you get some sack effects, the Banshee can be pretty exciting. And by itself, 4/4 for 5 is not the worst. And sometimes you can 2 for 1 with it, so it's pretty good. But yeah, I think Priest is also a fine pick here. We have a Dragon, Vampire Interloper, Rebuke, Avacyn's Pilgrim, and Rolling Tembler. Dragon is definitely good. I mean, if it gets through, it kills your opponent's entire board. Costs 7. Yeah, it is a good card. It's probably better than Rolling Tembler or the other red cards. Red is generally not that good in this format. I'm trying to remember if like red-black control was a thing. So I know red-black was kind of aggressive, so I don't know if taking the dragon here is going to be that great. There's green-black graveyard-ish. Maybe do just take the Pilgrim. I think I'm just going to take the Pilgrim. I mean, Bump in the Night is the black and red flashback spell, which is not very exciting, especially for a deck that's so controlling. So I think I'm just going to take the Pilgrim. But I guess Vampire Interloper is also a fine pickup there. We have another Pilgrim and not much else. So green seems pretty open. Glad I took the last Pilgrim. And they both give us white mana, so we could maybe make a splash of white. Another Geistcatcher's Rig, sure. I mean, I guess you don't want too many of these, but I'm fine playing 2. Scavenger's okay, Patrician is alright, Scarecrow, Occultist, the same common run we've already seen. Armored Scab, definitely the best card in the pack. Spider Grasp is okay, it's playable. I think it's early enough I want to take the Scab here, in case if we want to move into blue. Harvest, Pyre, Naturalize, Mouth, Hound. So it's Hound or Pyre. I think I'll take Pyre. And Ranger's Guile's fine. Take that over Neonate. Pitchfork, Curse. Against the Spider Spawning deck, Curse is okay. So I'll probably take that. Moon Mist, not very exciting. Trader's Blood. I guess is black-red the like Steel Sacrifice deck maybe? Stake Pitchfork, probably not going to be very good. I guess I'll take the Curse. So I guess black isn't very open, but we have some powerful cards already. So we probably want to stay black. Ghoul Razor. Don't have any zombies yet, but it could be good. I guess we have the Armored Scab if we're blue-black. Night Terrors, it's an okay sideboard card. You could main it if you're short. It can deal with some stuff like spider spawning. Since it exiles if you hit a flashback card, it's almost like you got to make them discard 2 cards. Okay, so card quality wise, I think the first pack went pretty well, but as far as like signaling, trying to be in the right archetype, I'm not really sure we're there. I'm not very excited about green as our second color at the moment. So there's Falkenrath Noble here, which is a great card. And Sulphur Falls, I imagine, isn't worth too much, though it's probably seeing play in some modern decks. 149, 1.5. Okay, we'll take the Noble. Claustrophobia, Victim of Night, we'll take that. Also an Interloper. So Victim kills non-vampire, non-werewolf, non-zombie. That actually means there's a lot of things that it doesn't kill, but you'll usually find a target for it, and for just 2 mana instant speed removal, I mean, it's still a very good card. But you might be surprised how many times it actually does not kill the thing you want to kill. Okay, Grizzled Outcast is the best card in the pack. For green, it's going to be pretty good. And then there's also Disciple of Gristlebrand, which can be a decent combo card, especially if you're black-white human sacrifice. And it works pretty well with the Banshee. You just pay 1 extra mana, sack a creature to kill something. I think I am just going to take the Outcast, though. Right now I don't have too much synergy for the Disciple, so just having a big beater seems better. Geist Flame, Moon Heron, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Lantern Spirit. So, could be blue-black. Let's play the Scab and the Heron. I mean, there's only so many Avacyn's Pilgrims that you want, if you're not playing white especially. So, taking a third one's a little iffy. Lantern Spirit's also good. It might be a little bit better than the Heron. I think they're pretty close. And then red was also pretty open in the first pack, but I don't like red too much. And I mean, there was that Armored Scab, but otherwise blue didn't seem that open in the first pack. So this is kind of difficult. It's definitely a fork in the road pick. I just don't know how much we're going to want 3 Pilgrims. So I'm going to take the Lantern Spirit. Okay, Altar's Reap, Boneyard Worm, Spider, not much here. Unless you're doing a lot of self-mill, the Worm is not that good. So I might just take Altar's Reap. Works okay with the Banshee, though it doesn't look that great here, but I think I'll take it anyway. Got Vampire, another Curse, Gold Color's Chance, Rebuke. So I think the only thing we know is that we're not white. Another Harvest Pyre. I guess I'll take the Vampire. Maybe Naturalize is the pick there. This has definitely been a hard draft as far as figuring out our colors. Like, there's nothing that's really pulling me into green, even though I have 4 playables. And I've seen some red, white, and blue also. I wish I had a bit more of a signal from pack 1. Like, if I could predict which color would be open in pack 3. I did see those Pilgrims, so maybe it's green. And I also saw the Armored Scab, but I didn't see much other blue in the first pack, so I don't feel like blue's really open. I mean, definitely red, so I could consider red, but red's not that good. So even if it's open, it might not be that spectacular. Stitch Drake, though, is quite good. So I think I'll take that over Mulcher Orchard Spirit. And we can move the scab in and look at black-blue. Not my favorite archetype. We got a Typhoid Rats, which is nice. Some decent red here, Rebuke. Ultra's Reap, Curiosity, Gnaw to the Bone, Elder Cathar. Don't think Curiosity is going to fit here. And I don't think we'd on another Ultra's Reap. Could even hate the Gnaw, actually. If someone is the Spider Spawning deck, that's a pretty annoying card to face. So moving up the green. If blue is cut in the last pack, then I think we're just going to have to move back into black-green. But otherwise, I'm going to try to make blue-black work. There's a little bit of synergy with Ghoul Razor, the Scab, some other zombies, and it can play a control game pretty well. So we'll hate another Gnaw the Bone. Mask of Avacyn is playable. It's very good on Falkenrath Noble. You protect the Noble. So, I guess I'll take the Mask. We might end up short on playables, considering we're moving around colors so much. And yeah, I do like it a lot in Falkenrath Noble. These drafts are Swiss, so I will be playing out all the rounds. Just hate the Sleuth, which also isn't that good anyway, but best card in that pack. I guess Stromkirk Patrol could be playable. Bump in the Night. I don't think we're... I guess we could still be red. I doubt it. Ooh! Liliana of the Veil. That's worth something. It's a good card too. Haven't actually opened one of these before, I don't believe. I think it was the most expensive card for a while, 74. Jeez, how lucky. Alright, Murder of Crows. Card's really good. And also is one of the best cards to hit with Geist Catcher's Rig. So we'll snap that up. This pack's pretty nice. Another Victim of Night, Stitch Drake, Battleground Geist, and Grasp of Phantoms. I think we'll take Grasp. It's pretty close with Victim, but I think it's a little bit better. You get two uses out of it. And we already have a Victim, and they definitely get worse in multiples. Okay, Dissipates, Makeshift Mauler. We'll take Mauler. So now we're in the blue-black, I guess self-mill, though we don't really have that much of it. But just kind of graveyard, make big zombies, like tons of removal kind of archetype, which was actually really good at the start of Innistrad, because you're just casting bigger creatures than your opponent. But as the format progressed, more people are fighting over the self-mill cards, and like your end game of just playing some larger than normal creatures just became less exciting. So Moon Heron and Selhoff Occultist. I think Heron's usually better. It fits pretty well with their curve. Occultist, considering we have Stitch Drake and Mauler, we might want the Occultist more, but we've got a good number of 3s right now. I guess I'd rather have a 3 than a 4. I'll take the Occultist. Deranged Assistant, that's very good. So that helps us set up these exile creature zombies. Also helps us ramp a little bit. Runic Repetition, we got Sever and Grasp of Phantoms. but just those 2 cards I don't think is enough. The kind of games where you flash these back are the games that you've probably already won. So another Mauler or a Walking Corpse. I think I'll take Corpse. Just something you can trade off and get like a Drake or Mauler out, and then also just having a 2-drop gives us some protection for Liliana the Veil. So we're at 21 playables right now. We could run Night Terrors and go 18 lands, and hopefully we'll pick up another playable. So this last pack went quite well. It looks like blue was pretty open. I was a little afraid it wouldn't be, but since we didn't really pass that much in pack 2, maybe we forced somebody out of it. Or maybe just the fact that the Armored Scab came kind of late in pack 1, maybe blue wasn't cut that hard. And I haven't really seen much green this draft, considering I kind of felt pushed into it pack 1 with the Avacyn's Pilgrims. We never really saw like any green win conditions really. So I think green might have been a little overdrafted. And all in all, I think our deck is quite good. I was pretty worried after pack 2, but pack 3 ended up just filling a lot of the holes, getting some nice powerful spells and a Liliana the Veil. I'll take a Fortress Crab here. We might run it. Could hate the Burning Vengeance, which is very powerful in the right deck. Though if someone really wanted it, they probably would have taken it from that pack already. So I mean, if someone has like the sickest Burning Vengeance deck, they're probably never passing it. So we're at 17 right now. We could cut Night Terrors or Mask of Avacyn. Or Stromkirk Patrol. We did a lot of removal, so we could maybe force through the Patrol. Our deck is a touch clunky. I think the Crab is definitely good. I think I'll just cut the Night Terrors. Maybe Altar's Reap. Ghost Quarter, Purify, Wooden Stake. There are some Vampire decks that I might want to side this in against, so I guess I'll take that. Don't want the Hairland Harbor. We could hate one of these green cards. We could take a Rotting Fen Snake. Snake, you can get it back with Ghoul Razor. Trades off pretty easily for stuff. Like, it's okay. I guess I'll take it. I don't think it's going to make the main. And if we take a green card, we're not, like, whoever the green drafter is still going to get a good green card from that pack. So hating isn't that valuable there. Wow, another Stitch Drake. That's really nice. This is a pretty sick pack that this came out of. So probably Stromkirk Patrol. Could also cut the Altar's Reap. I guess it helps us get something in the graveyard for Stitch Drake, but we don't have too many creatures that we just want to sacrifice. Like, you don't really want to sack a Typhoid Rats. I guess against a removal heavy deck you would want it, but it might just be a better sideboard card here. So maybe play the Fen Snake or the Patrol. I think Patrol. So we have 17 creatures. It's a pretty good count. So it shouldn't be too hard to turn on the Stitch Drake, exile creature card from your graveyard cards, and also the Morbid from the Banshee. Manor of Skeleton's playable, but pretty unexciting. I think I'll leave it in the board. So yeah, I think the deck really came together in the last pack. I think we have a shot of taking down the pod, and up 74 tickets, so nice. Alright, this is the deck. Let's just go 9-9. We've got a lot of double blue and double black. Going 18 lands. Make sure that we're going to be able to get the mana that we need. All the double blue and double black that we have to find early. And then we also have a couple 6-drops. A little clunky overall with the curve, so having extra lands helps. We can even discard them to Liliana. And then we've got 2 expensive flashback spells, so and Murder of Crows lets you cycle, so seems like a pretty reasonable 18-land deck. Alright, I'll see you for round 1. Okay, ready for round 1. So right before I submitted, I decided to change. I put in Rotting Fen Snake for the Stromkirk Patrol. And reason being, I mean, it does lower our curve a little bit, which helps. I like the combo of having the 5/1 with Morkut Banshee. So turn 4 you play the 5/1. On turn 5 you attack, and your opponent pretty much trades a small creature for it, and then you Banshee and kill their bigger creature. It is a zombie, so it's a little easier for a Ghoul Catcher to hit Ghoul Raiser to hit something, and also it just trades off kind of easily, so it's good for the Stitch Drakes. So it felt like it was a little better there. So this is a play first format. There's nothing pretty strange about it, and you generally want to play first. But also there's werewolves. If your opponent gets like a Reckless Waif on turn 1, and your turn 2 slow, that can be costly. So this hand we've got 4 swamps, no blue. Typhoid Rats can buy some time. A blue, we get the Scab. Then we need another blue, we can get Drake. It's okay, but I think this is one of those new mulligan rule is okay to mulligan hands. So let's ship it, and this is definitely better. So we'll keep just about any spell on top and lands on the bottom. I think that's like one of the closest calls. I think I'm just going to take it. It's close. By the time we get to turn 5, we'll probably have another land. Like, we might be able to cast it on turn 6 anyway. It is a very powerful card. It means we just have more stuff to do with our hand, and we're like less likely to get flooded. Like, if we just draw a bunch of spells with 4 mana out and a Geistcatcher's Rig, I think we'll be fine. But if we put it on the bottom and then get flooded, I think we might be in trouble. So I like just having it. Okay, guess I'll just send the corpse in. Just trade a little damage back and forth. 2 for 1. Even though we really want to trade this off so we can cast a Stitch Drake. And opponent's white-green, they might have travel preparations, which would definitely be trouble. Bonds of Faith, okay. Basically giant strength. We've got some great answers for that in this deck. We have a lot of answers for it, but that's not one of them. So we'll drop the Mask, attack for 2. Like Liliana the Veil, Grasp of Phantoms, Victim of Night. Sever the Bloodline, all would have been pretty strong there. Slayer of the Wicked, that's a good one. Though, it does let us cast Stitch Drake. Fortunately, we're 1 mana short of being able to equip the Mask immediately. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe opponent's just not going to attack into the Drake. That would be nice. But being white-green, decent chance they have some kind of pump spell. Lantern Spirit. Yeah, let's play the Drake. Yeah, like just playing Spirit here just doesn't do enough, and there is a chance that opponent just can't attack and has to pass. You could maybe even just leave double black up if your opponent's aware we'd be representing Victim of Night. though I think we would have cast that before probably. Generally leaving, like if your opponent doesn't know the format, generally leaving up different types of mana is going to be better. So attack with just the Slayer. I feel like they probably just want to pump their mob here. I just can't see why they wouldn't want to attack with both, if that's the case. Like if they have a pump spell, they would just attack with both, get more damage in. And maybe they think it'd be safer just to force this trade. But I think I'm fine just blocking. Then we get to equip the mask. Okay, Woodland Sleuth, so they get it back. Makes sense. So we'll just put mask on it and sit back for a while. The land, I'll throw out the Spirit. Okay, Cloistered Youth. Doesn't change much. Opponent sits on the Slayer. And we probably have a much better late game, so I'm pretty happy just sitting back. So Ghoul Raiser. Probably just send the Lantern Spirit. I can do some tricky stuff to try to get some more damage in, but I think I just leave the mask attached. Like I could move the mask over to the Spirit attack and then move it back. Honestly, that might be better. I mean, I guess this way I have an extra creature to block, but that shouldn't make a big difference. This will just leave double blue up. Be extra safe with the Spirit activations. So I don't know, maybe next turn I'll, what's this? Okay, Bellringer. Yeah, opponents playing a lot of cards that don't really allow them to break through. Okay, they flip into the Fiend. I mean, I suppose the opponent might just want to pump their Unruly Mob here and suicide the Fiend in, but if they're just going to keep passing, there's no reason to flip that. I mean, they can start pumping up their mob, but it's not very effective attack. So we'll block the 2/3, we'll put the Spirit on the Fiend, bounce the Spirit. So we take 1 damage. Opponent's going to take 1 damage at end of turn. And then their mob's going to be a 5/5. Still not big enough to attack through the Drake. Typhoid Rats is great. So that deals with the Unruly Mob for a while. In fact, we can actually attack with a Stitch Drake here. We're pretty safe. Like, this puts opponent to 9, so we actually have a pretty good clock. And, I mean, they're probably going to want to send, like, their Fiend and the Bellringer in. We can just block and bounce the Spirit. If they send everything, we put Rats on Mob, and then opponent really has nothing. And this is a 2-turn clock if we just want to send the spirit and the Drake next turn. Or actually, we can even leave back the spirit, or we could attack and flip, or bounce it to our hand and replay it. So they have Slayer and 1 unknown card in hand. So attack with Fiend. I think I just take 1 bounce, attack for 4, play Spirit, and then I've got lethal next turn. And in with the Drake. Probably play Spirit and Occultist. I just won't block with the Spirit next turn unless if I have to. Ooh, Butcher's Cleaver. That was a draw. Now I wish I left the mana up for the Spirit. That was rough. Because I could block whatever creature opponent put the Cleaver on and return it. But since I'm tapped out, I can't do that. I don't think my play was actually a misplay, but I mean that's just a very specific card that punishes this play. Well, he puts it on the Cathar. Not sure I love that. I feel like you should probably just put it in the Mob and, you know, be willing to trade off with the Rats and just gain a ton of life. Could be wrong. If I was going to go to 9, we've got 6 in the air. That's pretty annoying. Trade the Lantern Spirit off. That doesn't make me too happy. You can take 8, go to 4. That's not the worst. An opponent is going to lose a life in a turn, so we still have a 2-turn clock, and then we just have, like, we just need to save the Lantern Spirit. I could maybe block with Typhoid Rats. I think I just take the full hit. Or I could block with Occultist. I'm surprised that play hadn't even occurred to me yet. That's probably the correct play. Well, let's put Occultist on there. And we'll mill ourselves. Get the double mill. Might get a zombie in the graveyard for Ghoul Raiser. In this format, you pretty much always mill yourself. There's so much flashback and stuff that takes advantage of the graveyard. We hit the Liliana and a Swamp. So opponent going to 9, and then they're going to take 1, go to 8. We put them to 4. We have the Lantern Spirit back to block whichever creature. You got a Lily? Yep. Swamp. So attack with at least the Drake. If we bounce Spirit, replay Spirit, and then leave it up, that's pretty good. We can also play Ghoul Raiser, which I don't think changes much. So I think I just attack with both. Bounce, replay Spirit. I don't know if the opponent has some way of gaining a little bit of life, it helps out next turn. guess we died a removal. Yeah, maybe I should just go for the Ghoul Razor there. Though I guess opponent just casts Slayer and kills it. I don't know. Like that might change things. Alright, so easy blocks here. Rats on Bonds, Lantern on the Bell Ringer, Bounce Lantern. That should be the game. Okay. Yeah, the other play was just cast Geistcatcher's Rig, not attack with Lantern Spirit, and just leave up a blue for it. I think that's also fine. So opponent has Cleaver. A lot of unexciting humans. Slayer is pretty scary. Night Terrors could be okay. Manor Skeletons okay. This opponent just has a lot of large ground creatures. I think Terrors probably wants to go in. Fence Snake. They can probably find a decent trade for it. Didn't see flyers, I don't think. So the rigs may not be great. Maybe next game, if I don't see any flyers, I might cut one. But if they do have flyers, the cards are so good, and the opponent is white. There's a good number of white flyers. The Mask was decent. So I think I'm just going to run this back, but Terrors or Manor Skeleton could potentially go in. Let's just try it again. I think it's okay. It goes to 6. With the new mulligan, it's probably okay to mulligan, but we've got 2 cards that can trade with ground creatures on the draw. I think it's alright. And we're also going to fill up our graveyard, so Stitch Drakes and Makeshift Maulers are turned on. Opponent goes to 5. Murder Crows, quite nice. Oof. Liliana. So what's the best play here? We attack. I think we'll just hold back. There's a chance maybe opponent just attacks Priest into Rats. Unruly Mob. They only have 2 cards in hand, so I mean, pumping Liliana here could be pretty nice. Occultist. So attack step. So I mean, they can attack Lily for 2. They don't have travel prep. We get 1 card out of their hand, and then we can play another blocker, or we could play Occultist, and that's gonna stop them for 1 turn, and then we go for Liliana. I think I'm gonna go with Occultist first. Yeah, kind of close. If they play like land and some large 4-drop, it would have been better to go for Liliana. Okay, Bonds of Faith. We'll take 3. Might just slow play this a bit. Well, they just pass. We can get their last card with the Liliana. And go from there. Like, they can't kill Lily next turn at 4. So cards to discard. Maybe just the Fen Snake. Seems reasonable. They discard Rebuke, the last card. Okay. So this taps non-human creatures. So they tap the rats. On their turn, they can send the Unruly Mob at Liliana. We can just let it go to 1. We could also jump. I think that's fine too, but let it go to 1. Can plus Lily again and play Murder Crows. Though minusing Lily could be pretty nice too. Yeah, I'll take it. Another close call. Having an extra creature in play does make it a little less likely the opponent can actually kill my Liliana next turn. Doom Traveler. Ugh, that's definitely an annoying one. Hope I draw like a land here. Though it is something for us to kill with the Geist Catcher's Rig, the flying token that comes out. Ghoul Razor's nice. So we can cast Murder. I think we gotta pump the Liliana, maybe discard Stitch Drake. Or, let's see. Maybe I just don't do anything with Liliana. Let it die. And with the Doom Traveler, the sack effect doesn't do too much. I'm losing Stitch Drake. If I plus it, keep it at 2. And I mean, I don't know. Liliana might not be that great in this spot. And if opponent tries to kill it, I do get to just put a Cultist in front of the Doom Traveler. I think I'll just let Liliana die. Like the play of plus it, and the next turn Ghoul Raise back. But then the -2 isn't going to do much. I'll have to start plussing it again. So overall, I don't think Liliana is going to do too much. So I think it's okay to let it die here. I mean, maybe much later in the game there's going to be a spot where Liliana is going to be more effective if I can just keep it around. But I think just the cards in my hand are probably a little more valuable. Ooh, Selfless Cathar. Opponent going to send both? I think so. Okay. Block Traveler. It's a loot. Opponent's mob gets bigger. We get to mill ourselves. Though we don't like love milling ourselves when we have Murder Crows out, because we're going to get through our deck pretty quick anyway. Alright, pitch an island. Take a mill. Yeah, I think Fortress Crab's gonna be good. You can probably attack with Murder here, and probably Cultist. Just play Crab. Opponent can tap Crab or the Typhoid Rats. I guess then they can sack the Cathar to pump the mob up. So maybe we just take a hit from the mob if they tap on our turn, or on their turn. But that means that they have to tap on their turn, so then we get to fully untap for the next turn, so even then that's not so bad. Like, we just put Crab in front of mob. They sack Cathar to kill it. So we might just want to take the 4 here. Though, if they do kill Crab, well, they just attack for 1. If they did kill Crab, then they'd have an extra creature in the graveyard. We could Stitch Drake and Ghoul Raise back the Fen Snake. So we draw land. Let's go to attacks. Probably going to tap the murder. Okay. I'm just going to Drake here. Fen Snake's not awful either, but just get another flyer I think is best. We'll hold the land in the Ghoul Razor. And in case if more creatures die, we can start looting with murder. Hamlet Captain. It's not too scary. Lantern Spirit's nice. So tap murder, we'll get in with Drake, and play Spirit. And I think I'll still just keep the lands in hand. Okay. Jump with the Spirit, gets to pump their mob, but I get to mill myself and loot. Mask, that's pretty nice. I'll discard the swamp. And then we mill a swamp. So I can just mask up the Murder Crows. It's going to be hard to lose. But could also just Spirit, which plays a little safer. So otherwise opponent could tap something down with Pilgrim and make a big attack where I wouldn't have fantastic blocks. Like Spirit prevents that. Just a little bit. It seems kind of close between Spirit and Mask. You could also just cast both. But if opponent on their turn just taps the rats and sends the mob, I think just block and return Spirit is better than using the Fortress Crab, but only by a little bit. I mean, trading the crab for Cathar, an opponent gets a pumped up mob. I get to loot, I get to mill one. It's not that bad. Okay, opponent just passes. Assistant. So we'll go to attacks. I think we just attack for 5. Let's get the clock going as fast as possible. And I think in this spot I just go post-combat Mask and equip it on the murder. It's very close to the decision from last turn. I don't know if I can fully justify why I feel like it's better this turn, but okay, naturalize on the Mask, sure. But I mean, this turn if opponent does just tap down my rats to make an attack, like they are at 9, I can swing back. It's just not that good for them. Like, they're taking lethal if they go for an aggressive attack here, so I guess that's why I feel like it's okay this turn to go for the Mask play, and last turn it wasn't quite as good. Because, yeah, they're like thinking about tapping the rats, and then they realize, oh, I'm dead if I do that. And then we get the extra benefit of, you know, the Mask on the murder keeps it protected if they didn't have the naturalize. And then we can attack for more damage next turn. Opponent Sends everything in except for the priest. Let's put... I mean, I guess they might have that woodland sleuth, but that doesn't concern me too much, so put the rats there. Put crab here and occultist here. If I switch these up, opponent could sack the Cathar and kill the occultist, save the captain, so I think this is a little better. And yeah, get to loot and occultist a bunch. So we're going to loot before occultist. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe it should be the other way around. Alright, assistant can go. Corpse can go. Island. And then triple mill. Let's see, so we got walking corpse. Falconwrath Noble. So Ghoul Razor gets back corpse right now. Okay, so bonus sleuth. We'll get a random creature back. And I got the Selfless Cathar. And they tapped out and they're dead. So they should have just saved mana for the Pilgrim, or for the Priest. But they just take lethal in the air. Yep. Okay, so I'll see you for round 2. Ready for round 2. So this hand isn't super exciting, but I think it's worth a keep. We've got both colors of mana. Fortress Crab and Grasp can buy some time. And eventually Geist Catcher's Rig. Even put Mask on the Crab. That's a little exciting. We'll start with the Swamp in case we draw a Victim and opponent plays a really good 2-drop that we can Victim. Drawing lands is fine. We've got the Graph, so eventually we'll want 8, and then lets us cast Geist Catcher's Rig on time. So with the opponent having a mountain here, now it's a little unfortunate I cast the Mask, because I might even need to cast it next turn to prevent a Werewolf from flipping. Though either way, we can use Grasp on Werewolf. So yeah, they do have a Werewolf here. But that one isn't that good against Fortress Crab. Banshee, so unfortunately we'll have to take 3 here. Good Grasp, but I think I'll probably have a better target for it. The opponent might have 3 worth of burn to finish off the Crab, but I think that's fine. And red-green deck, not too many flyers for Rig to pick up. Okay, Fear of the Bidden. Now, I mean, I still could play Fortress Crab and see if that's good enough, but I mean, at this point, Grasp of Phantoms I think is worth it. Let's see, Feral Ridge Wolf. Well, now they're guys flipping over again because they played 2 spells. If we Grasp, they draw us again, attack for like 3, and we play Crab. It's pretty good. We just play Crab now, we block, take some amount. I think we'll just Grasp now. Like, it does prevent a draw for a turn. So the earlier we do that, probably the better. So we got 2 cards in hand other than the Vampire. might just pump the Ridge Wolf. Okay, got assistant. Actually, assistant mask on the assistant is not that bad here. It does deal with the Ridge Wolf. They'll have to pump just a trade. I think I like that. If I go crab, opponent might just attack with both. Could like deal me a bunch of damage. Crab is pretty good though. Yeah, we'll do crab. Could also Banshee, but... Oh wait, hold on. Opponent has... I guess they have another mountain. My bad. Forgot. If they have another mountain, they can pump again. Yeah, that's a pretty big misplay. Just going for assistance, and equipping means we at least kill the Ridge Wolf. Garrick the Relentless. Wow. That is quite a beating here. So opponent just gets to make infinite wolves. We need a flyer really quickly. At least we have the mask, so if we do get a flyer, we can probably take out the Garrick. I guess we'll just cast Geist Catcher's Rig and start attacking. If opponent makes a big like triple block, we can play Banshee afterwards. And maybe just mask on Rig is enough to get opponent to just chump every turn. It's probably better than just sending in Rig and going for Banshee. So Rig's going to have 7 toughness. This depends on what opponent does here. Yeah, I don't love this. So we can make it a 5-7, but opponent can block with Ridge Wolf and Iron Fang and trade both of those for the Rig. And we just have Crab versus a bunch of Wolf tokens. We could also cast the Assistant. An opponent might kill it with Garrick. And then they can start like looting for a really big creature. Like, I don't think I want to mess around with that. And Death Touchers are pretty annoying. And maybe I'll just mask the Rig, trade it off. And then mask on Crab. What if I wait a turn? Then I could grasp pre-combat. That's probably better. Although then I'm just trading off for 2 wolves. Yeah, maybe I'll just play the Assistant. Alright, so leave this back. Let's play Assistant. Opponent wants to flip the Garrick, that's fine. And then tomorrow, next turn I have some options. Another thing is that they do have to leave back a bunch of mana for the Ridge Wolf to trade off. Okay, so they flip on Assistant. Transform Garrick. Death Touchers could get pretty annoying though. Still just hoping to draw a flyer, take care of the Garrick. They might just shift the turn to me. Cultist. I think we go Grasp on the Ridge Wolf. And then send everything at Garrick. If the opponent wants to trade Iron Fang, well, he can't really do that. So everything at Garrick. Could maybe die on a swing back, but I think opponent might want to just put everything on the Geist Catcher's rig, and so Crab would get in for 1 damage. It's risky, but this is not the kind of game where you can afford not to take risks. Like, if I just let Garrick die, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Not sure to what, though. So I could just chump with the wolf and then put a wolf in front of the crab. So just kill 1 wolf out of the play. Okay, so we can use some kind of pump spell. I think Iron Fang first. And then draw in the 1/2 Trampler next turn. Okay, Spidery Grasp. I should have put a wolf on the crab, so Garrick goes to 1. But now that it's making Death Touch wolves, is going to be tough. These are a lot harder to deal with than the 2/2s. Another big creature. This is going to be extremely tough. This will send Crab at Garrick. See if the opponent blocks with the Death Touch Wolf. We can Banshee the Outcast. Thanks. And we can mill ourselves. I mean, I guess hitting Sever would be good. You can take out the wolves, maybe be able to kill Garrick somehow. Hit a Scab. So we'll pass. I suppose I could try to maybe mill opponent out here, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. Need a flyer. And they They can ultimate their Garrick for +2/+2 to all their creatures right now, as in next turn. Oops. Click through my attack. Yeah, I mean, attacking really doesn't do that much here. Game's pretty much over. Let's see. Like, if I attack with Banshee, he can block with Ridgewolf and then ultimate Garrick, taking 10, taking 13 trample coming at me. I don't know, maybe that's okay, but I guess, like, or they could just put the Death Touch Wolf in front of the 4/4, and that's a pretty nice trade for the opponent. So I guess I'll just keep passing. I mean, Sever would be good. Maybe Murder of Crows would be enough. It's pretty unfortunate. Like, everything other than the Garrick, I can handle pretty well. I think I'm just gonna ship it in here. Get on the next game. Liliana not doing anything there. Probably want Night Terrors. Lets me get rid of Garrick on turn 3. Fen Snake can go. Red-green, I guess Geist Catcher's Rig can go. I'll keep the Fen Snake. And seems good. Maybe the other Geist Catcher's Rig should go. I think there's at least one red flyer, but I don't know. Like, 4 or 5 for 6 is still okay, but it's probably worth cutting. Maybe just for another Night Terrors, or the Stormkirk Patrol, the 4/3 that gets pumped. Okay, let's play first. And can't keep this. Keep this one. Okay, they went to 6. They're keeping, put this on the bottom. Start with Swamp. They bottom their card. Hope my Spirit doesn't get Geist Flames on turn 3. Noble, that's sweet. I think I'm just gonna erase here, just dump it out. It's a good amount of extra damage if they don't have Geist Flame, and we didn't see one in the first game. Also, if they do have a turn 4 Garrick, having Spirit out means that I can attack with like if they want to kill the Noble, I can finish it off with the Spirit. So, looking quite good this game. Noble is one of the best cards in her deck. Drains for 1 whenever a creature dies. Okay, play a Werewolf. Oof. How's that for good? See, I can have planeswalkers too. And we drain for 1. And attack for 4. Plus, we can up the Liliana, discard a creature, and use it to makeshift Mauler. So we'll discard Assistant. We can even leave up mana for Lantern Spirit. Could consider leaving back the Spirit just to be extra safe, but with the Noble out, and putting his Fear of the Bidden, well, Mauler, that's what I was considering if they had Fearer. But even under, like, kind of bad case scenario, like, we're putting opponent to 9, we still have Noble and Spirit in play. The Noble is going to get some drains at some point. Like, opponent's just going pretty low at this point. So we could keep the Spirit back. Yeah, okay, I'll keep the Spirit back. Yeah, I guess there's just not much of a reason to risk losing to Liliana here, or risk having to chump with the Mauler if opponent pumps Outcasts. Like, I think slowing this game down a little bit's fine. We have just so much power here. We can maybe Edict next turn after we protect. So I don't think missing out on 2 damage is that big of a deal. Could just Edict here. Attack for 8. Guess we'll go for a Cultist first. Could have that ambush Viper, but doesn't really matter. We'll mill ourselves, though. It's possible at this point we're so far ahead we should just mill them for information. That should do it. Opponent 2, Noble in play at 22. Dragon, not a problem. I don't know if that means the Geistcatcher's rig is worth it. You still have to get other creatures. Like, you have to have your opponent block with the dragon and then play the rig that turn. So I might want to cut 1 rig here. 4 or 5 is still like a decent body, but I think I want the Night Terrors. It's another way of... I already cut 1 rig. Yeah, I think I'll cut 1 more. This Night Terrors could kill Dragon, it could also kill the Garruk. Submit. This hand quite good. Could die to a really quick start. If the opponent has a werewolf. So we can't kill it with Victim. It takes until turn 4 before we deal with it. We also don't have our 4th land yet. Mauler, one of the worst cards we could draw. Because we're not going to have creatures in the yard anytime soon. I wouldn't mind a 4th land just to guarantee we can Sever Grasp. And we want to just draw, like, have some early cards we can at least cast, prevent opponent from flipping a werewolf. Or if they have an early Garruk, it could be rough. So island's fine. We definitely want the 2nd black, but I'll take a land. The turn 4 Garruk could be really rough. We just don't have anything to deal with it. Okay, Ridgewolf. It's not so bad. Walking corpse. Okay. So opponent might Garrick it, but that might be okay. It'd be great if opponent just like trades the ritual for the corpse, then we go Mauler. If they Garrick, make a 2/2. They have Garrick. Garrick, make a 2/2. So we'll attack corpse at Garrick. Then play Mauler. Maybe we could use Sever to kill like 2 wolf tokens. That would be sick. Another thing is actually Sever with the same name as that creature. I think that means that the wolf tokens, like the Death Touch ones and the regular ones, are actually the same name. They're both just wolf token. So I think we can actually kill both types, which should be pretty useful. That said, I do want to get the Mauler out this turn, so I'm going to attack with the corpse at Garrick and trade off for a wolf, get a 4/5 out. Could definitely win this game. Might be just enough ahead. Okay, Outcast, it's pretty good, but we can grasp it, attack with the Mauler, opponent has to chump. Maybe get a second black soon. Or if we get a swamp, we could maybe just attack with Mauler. Okay, I didn't draw a swamp. So I think it's grasp, outcast. So that's on top. Mauler at Garrick, opponent blocks with wolf. Probably. Swamp would be a great draw here, because I could attack, and then depending on how opponent blocks, like if they just jump with another wolf, I can play Banshee and kill their outcast, which would be huge. Because then I'd be just ahead on board, especially with Sever still in hand, and Victim. This outcast again, okay. Come on, Swamp. Please, Swamp. Sitch Drake. I guess it's just Sever the outcasts, keep attacking with Mauler. Not what I really wanted to do there, but attack Garrick. And eventually I can flash back the Sever, which will be nice. I need to get a creature in the yard for the Sitch Drake, but that could definitely put pressure on Garrick. Like, that can probably kill Garrick. Not too many things kill Sitch Drake. Opponent might just start like racing me here, just bump everything into the Ridge Wolf, make a token with Garrick. Oh, they have Dragon. Swamp, please! Swamp here, very important. Need to Victim that. Eight more in the deck. Not out of it yet. Be cool if I could bluff attack here. Oh, I actually have to. Oh, crap, I have to. I don't even have a creature in the graveyard for the Drake. that swamp. Alright, there's just block there. So all my guys are going to die. They make another creature with Garruk. Man. So, yeah. Let's cost double black. Yeah, I think I just needed that swamp that turn. Because the Garruk, he's Balefall Dragon when it attacks. It's going to kill my Mauler, so now I don't have any offense, and opponent's still making a creature every turn with Garruk. I guess if I draw a swamp this turn, I can play Stitch Drake, and maybe that's enough, but man, if they just pump up the Ridge Wolf a bunch, I'm taking so much damage. Catch. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I needed that swamp, but without it, that's going to be the match. So, it's a Swiss draft. I'll take a second here. Like, a lot of people drop from it. So, I think there's a 50-50 shot. I think there's a... Is it 50-50 or are there 3 people left, 2 people? Anyway, this might be the last round, but I'll pause it and we'll see. Okay, looks like we're getting paired, so... Oh, opponent has an 80 card deck. I guess I'll take a second just to see if they're actually playing this out. I guess so. Alright, on the next round. Alright, finals time. Against an 80 card deck. So, opponent did hang around for a bit. Looks like they're serious about playing. Game 1 should be relatively easy. Might be able to show off our Liliana. Let's go Scab here. I'd like to probably plus Liliana. So we got Sever in the graveyard. I guess plussing Liliana is weaker since the opponent's deck's going to be really diluted. They'll have a bunch of bad cards. But I didn't really want to just go minus Liliana and have it die to burn or something. The opponent's Ghost Quartering. For a forest. Playing Orchard Spirit. Alright, we can go for Noble or Lantern Spirit. I think Lantern Spirit's pretty good. I'm not going to trade, I'm just going to take 2 and swing back, play Noble. Dark Thicket Wolf. Banshee's nice. I think we want an extra island in play for the Spirit. Not sure though. Am I going to trade here this turn? I think I could. Or at least if opponent attacks with Wolf, I could just put Spear in front. If opponent pumps, I'll bounce it. So, like, we're both spending our turn. they want to trade, I think I'm okay with that. Like if they don't pump, I think that's fine. Alright, they do pump, I'll bounce it. Cultist. Let's see, if we go Liliana sack. They sack the Iron Fang. I can probably do better than that. I feel like I just go Spirit Occultist. So we flip back the Iron Fang. I guess just attack with the Noble. So we'll just trade some damage back and forth. Huh. Killed my land. Was going to play the land, but I might not want to. So we attack with these. I mean, we got Sever, so I might want to play it. We can like Liliana, maybe Liliana plus, and hold Spirit back to block. Or we could attack with these three, and no matter what, play Banshee. I think I like that. I think opponent might try to trade for the Cultist here. If not, like just playing Banshee is also fine. Just a 4/4 in this board is pretty strong. This sets us up for a spot where we can start plussing Liliana, having no cards in hand. Okay, do have a human, though I would be pretty happy to trade and double drain. So, yep. Land, Lily, plus it, get a card. Attack with at least Noble. And Spirit can probably block and bounce with opponent's Orchid Spirit. Could also trade them off. I get to double mill and double drain. That's fine too. And then I don't have cards in hand to clunk up Liliana at all. Okay, Traitor's Blood. So they can make a big attack, maybe just everything at Liliana. But I don't think they're killing Liliana here. So Lantern Spirit on Orchid Spirit. More cut on Revelers, and Armored Scab on Wolf. We'll bounce Spirit. So opponent gets 3 drains, but we still have Liliana. We get to mill ourselves for 3. Hit a Grasp. And Murder. So I have some options here. I guess I can just plus the Lily. It's not that bad. And then play Murder. Like, I'll lose the Lantern Spirit, which is annoying. I do get the last card of opponent's hand, which is kind of cool. Just in case it's something great. So we get to play Murder. Attack with Noble. And then we can jump Occultist on the Wolf, I think. And then I'll probably just sever the Wolf. Or if I draw land, I can grasp it. And we'll be pretty far ahead. It does also force opponent to use their only green, so if they do a green spell, I can't cast it this turn. So I'll mill myself. I'm not going to loot. Because I already have both my flashback cards in the graveyard, so looting doesn't accomplish anything. I have plenty of creatures to remove. Get a little bit of lag here. Okay, Victim of Night, that's good. Go Victim on the Wolf. Then plus Liliana. Gets a drain for 1. Opponent might actually have a green card in hand. We get to make them discard. This has been a pretty interesting game considering opponents on 80 cards. Assume the opponent's red-green beats. You can't 100% be sure of what they're actually playing, but they have a couple playables in those colors. And just the Maw the Mire in black. Okay, discard a mountain, and I'm just going to send the Noble, leave back the Murder. Setting both is also fine, but I think I want to protect the Lily. Like, opponent would go to 7, and then I put them to 1, and there's a Noble in play, so that's almost a lock there. But if I keep back Murder for one turn, I get to keep the Lily most likely. Those Cannibals, School Razor. Probably get back Stitch Drake. Oh wait, I guess I get a random card back. So, decent chance of being a Stitch Drake. Oh, got the corpse. So, play corpse. I'll go plus Lily. I'll attack with both flyers. Either way, opponent can't kill Lily this turn. We'll F6 opponent's turn. I mean, I guess opponent can get a lot of triggers going on. I don't want to lose too much time. Plus the Lily. Ice Flame. That doesn't do it. Alright, I can F6 now. I can Geist Flame the Noble again, drains him for 1, and then I just attack with Murder. Just have to get through some triggers. Okay, game 2. So since they're red-green, probably don't have too many flyers. I think I'll cut out both Geist Catcher's rigs. So Night Terrors can come in, and I guess just patrol. Not super exciting, but I think that's okay. Okay, I think this hand's decent enough. Noble is just such a strong card, I think it's worth keeping. But it's close, don't have a double black, and I am just starting with a 4-drop. Another island. Not the card I wanted to see. Neonate. Oh, okay. Hope this survives. That could be very bad. Though I guess the Fortress Crab is going to block it eventually. Still think I just need to trade off rats for it, so don't take too much. Ooh, Night Terrors, good draw. Let's see what's up. Wow. That's a hit. Bloodline Keeper. Card is absurd. There is a Harvest Pyre though. That can take out the Noble and have victims, so I mean, I guess I don't have double black for the Bloodline Keeper, but I just can't let them have that. So Pyre Reveler's victim. Bloodline Keeper, definitely one of the best card, if not the best card in the set. If they draw a Cultist, I can go for Fortress Crab. Armored Scab. It's also good. Let's put the crab out there. So I guess opponent actually is red-black. And we cut the two Geist Catcher's rigs, and they have Bloodline Keeper. So that's pretty interesting for as much information as we got from seeing a good chunk of the opponent's deck. We actually made a really poor sideboarding choice. So I don't feel like getting rid of the Noble quite yet. So I can go victim on the crab, Pyre the Noble. I guess I'll go for Scab, but we're definitely behind here. They got the double black. See if we hit anything good. Liliana, got a couple more creatures in the yard. I'll take 4 here. Put land pass. I could maybe play the Noble, but I might be able to find a better bait rather than just let it die to either Cultist or Harvest Pyre. Let's throw the Noble out now. So we drain opponent for 1. Take another hit from the Revelers. Hope to draw something like Sever. Yeah, not gonna do it. I'm just gonna get to the next game. Lagging a bunch, so I could use the extra time. So let's get both rigs in. Bloodline Keeper is just so ridiculous that I like having both. Night Terrors was good. Like Fen Snake can definitely go. Opponent has Geist Flame. And Patrol can go, it's just not a very strong card. And the rest is good. Mask of Avacyn seems pretty decent here. Altar's Reap could also be okay. So we'll play first. And keep. Hope opponent doesn't have Geist Flame in their hand. so they can get a lot of value off of it. Paragraph Ghoul. Oof, Ghoul Geist Flame. That's pretty sick. Banshee. Could play Ghoul Razor, trade it off. I could also Lantern Spirit and just trade it off maybe. I think I'm gonna go with the Ghoul Razor. This opponent can't Geist Flame yet. If they wait a turn, I can leave a blue mana. Let's do Ghoul Razor. Hey, easy trade. And Stitch Drake, nice. Move the assistant. We gotta play defense now. Things could get pretty rough. The Rakish Air. Galvanic Juggernaut. The card can be annoying, but Lantern Spirit's pretty good against it. So leave up double blue. Let's see, do we want to attack with Drake? No. Hold it back for the air. Just F6. So opponent attacks Juggernaut. We block with Spirit, bounce it. I have to find another way to kill one of our creatures. Otherwise Juggernaut stays tapped. Cultist, that's rough. Still just play Spirit, I think. Could go for Banshee just to hold the ground a little better. We'll just Banshee. Could attack for 3. I think I'm gonna pass. I'd get destroyed by a Victim of the Night if I attack for 3 here. At least on the board, the opponent doesn't have any great plays. They can sack a creature to untap the Juggernaut, but they can't currently kill any of my creatures. So it kind of depends just what they have in hand. I mean, their board is set up pretty well for something exciting, depending on what else they have. So I'm not in a great situation. Another Cultist. Their deck's pretty good. Oh man, if I draw Sever here, get both Cultists. Geist Catcher's Rig. I think I hold that. If I could get the Bloodline Keeper, it'd be pretty sick. I do get to just throw a Spirit down, which is pretty helpful. With double blue up. Do I attack with Drake? Maybe could. I think I'm still just gonna pass. Let's play extra safe. Hope they draw Bloodline Keeper. I can rig it. Interloper. Well, that's riggable. Untaps the Juggernaut. See, I could attack with Spirit. If they're just going to use Cultists, Interloper to kill, Spirits bounce it anyway. But I'm just going to go rig first. Like I don't know, they might have a different play. Like ping me to the face or something. Alright, good. Lag should pick up now. Yeah, they just go face. Drake. Does Drake go in? I think Drake goes in now. Now that I have the 4/5 back. I think that's reasonable. So the opponent's got the Juggernaut. I'd like to just block with Spirit, bounce it. They could respond with Geistflame plus sacking to Cultist. That's a pretty big investment from opponent, so I think I'd be okay with that. I could also just double block, get completely destroyed by Victim of the Night. Okay. Thank you. I mean, I wasn't gonna make that play, but sure would be nice for opponent to give me the option. So now a Sever wouldn't be quite as good because opponent could just sack a Cultist in response. It's still very good, of course. Just play another Spirit and pass. Yeah, I think so. If opponent wants to Geistflame it on their turn, I think that's okay. I could maybe trade Drake for the Juggernaut. If not, I'll just keep bouncing Spirit. I could also go for Mauler, but bouncing Spirit is kind of good because I mean, the opponent does need to kill something for the Juggernaut to untap. So if they don't make a move, then their Juggernaut's just going to stay tapped for another turn. So it's not like we're completely even here. Like, they are going to run out at a certain point and have to start sacking creatures or using Geistflame. So Neonate, that's basically there just to get sacked to Cultist. So I'll block and bounce. Swamp. I think I can go for Mauler this turn. I think it's pretty safe. Not 100%, but pretty safe. Alright, I'm a little ahead on clock now. That's good. Like if an opponent absolutely needs to kill the spirit, they can. They just go to face. Huh. Okay, 14. Harvest Pyre. Yeah, not a fan of how opponents playing this, so Drake goes. Seems like they're really not getting full value on their cards here. One card in hand. Uh-oh. Into the Maw of Hell. That's pretty good. Oops. Still just block return. Now if I draw Sever, it would be sick. Can kill both cultists here. Come on, Sever. Victim. Can victim the Juggernauts. Yeah, I could do that. I guess I can wait. Well, and then they can cultist it. I'll hit the Juggernaut. And Spirit. A little bit ahead on clock. Opponent does have a Geist Flame, and these cultists can be annoying, but I've got some good cards left in my deck for sure. What? Okay. Banshee on air. I just want to trade the board here. I think this is okay. Uh, 408. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'll see what their last card is, but if they don't have anything, I'm pretty happy. Island? Anything in graveyard? Nope. F6. So they're a little bit ahead. I drew Cannibals, that's pretty good. Ooh, Liliana. Yeah, that sucks I have Geist Flame. I probably just gotta make him sack. I do have to spend the turn to Geist Flame. If I play land and pump it, they could attack Liliana to 2 and then Geist Flame it to 1, and then they could attack kill it next turn. So I'm kind of playing it safe, make sure I can kill the Cannibals here. I'll just F6, I think. Oh man. Geist, Catcher's Rig, please. Stitch Drake. Guess I'll play land. I mean, Drake is nice. It does buy us a decent amount of time. And I can draw Sever or Grass. Oh, I drew the Rig. Such a good draw. This is what I'm talking about, this card. It's pretty broken. Alright, let's get aggro here. Let's get as much damage in as possible. Let's race. There's a race we can win. 2-turn clock. Got the rats. Opponent already already used their Geist Flame. They got a chump next turn. Vampire that lets them double block and trade. We got Corpse. I mean, any spell we draw is pretty good in this spot. Let's go, everybody. Yeah, we've got multiple ways of lethal next turn. We've got to deal with both the Drake and our two smaller creatures. That's not going to do it. Well, let's send the Drake. Alright. So that was actually a pretty exciting final match against the 80 card deck. Yeah, Geistcatcher's Rig. That was pretty sick off the top there. Both of them got some good value. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I love Innistrad, favorite format of all time. Opened the Liliana. So went 2-1, pretty successful draft. But yeah, get out there, draft it yourself. It's a great format. Definitely take the chance to experience it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.